footnote. No. Don't hit the footnote.
There's a footnote, but I'm going to try a different tactic. No, it's not working.
Oh, great.
Just
okay.
click it, whatever.
Well, okay.
How did you get back before?
I went back to the beginning and the page forward.
Oh.
Footnote. And people are wrong about urban myths. Logic and reason say these are fictional creations, retold again and again by people who are hungry for evidence of weird coincidence, natural justice, and so on. But they aren't. They keep on happening all the time, everywhere, as the stories bounce back and forth across the universe. At any one time, hundreds of dead grandmothers are being whisked away on the roof racks of stolen cars, and loyal Alsatians are choking on the fingers of midnight burglars. And they're not confined to any one world. Hundreds of female Mercurian turn 4 tiny eyes on their rescuers and say, my brood husband will be livid. It was his travel module.
What?
Urban myths are alive.
I don't get what is a travel module?
Well, in the Earth version of it.
Car.
Does anyone explain? Yeah. So.
Like, it was his car.
Okay, I
Moving
understand
right
now.
It's a reference to an urban legend
Yeah.
on Earth, but this is like the Mercutian version of it or whatever.
Great.
Let's just forget that.
Okay, we have to figure out a better way to
Yeah, we have
do
to
it.
go back to the beginning.
Okay, so, but
What?
it takes a special kind of person to fight back and become the bicarbonate of history. So,
Here we go.
once upon a time,
Again.
gray hands gripped the hammer and swung it, striking the post so hard it sank a foot into the soft earth.
Really?
Cool. I'm not that strong.
2 more blows and it was fixed immovably. From the trees around the clearing, the snakes and birds watched silently. In the swamp, the alligators drifted like patches of badass water.
No swearing, no
Let's
swearing.
keep this.
Gray hands took up the crosspiece and fixed it in place, tying it with creepers, pulling them so tight they creaked. She watched him. And then she took up a fragment of mirror and tied it to the top of the post. The coat, she said. He took up the coat and fitted it over the crosspiece. The pole was not long enough, so that the last few inches of sleeve draped emptily. And the hat, she said.
Emptily?
Emptily.
It says it right there. Now let's keep going.
Who are you to argue with Sir Terry Pratchett?
I
And
guess
the linguist
I am
who's
just
reading
not
the
worthy
book.
enough.
The hat was tall and round and black. It glistened.
Listen, that's like oil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The piece of mirror gleamed between the darkness of the hat and the coat. Will it work? He said.
Footnote.
Footnote. There must be a way to do this.
Yeah,
Double click it.
amazing just
I'm trying to...
Technological recorders.
Right click it.
You know what? You can get a copy of the book and then you don't have to do that. But we have copies. They just aren't
Right.
here.
You're right.
I'm going to skip this footnote because...
But it might be really funny.
It might be important. Footnotes are not important to the plot.
Yeah, they
Some
are.
of them are.
Alright, fine.
I can't remember the specifics, but some of the footnotes are important to the plot, and they make references to the footnote in the actual text later.
But this isn't even the right footnote. You went to the wrong one? No!
Oh, come on.
Oh, well.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Oh look, that's
Yeah.
the one about the grandmothers on the top of cars.
Yeah.
Nah.
Alright.
Dead grandmothers on
Anyway.
the top of cars.
Okay. Will it work? He said. Yes, she said. Even mirrors have their reflection. We got to fight mirrors with mirrors. She glared up through the trees to a slim white tower in the distance. We got to find her reflection. You'll have to reach out a long way then. Yes, we need all the help we can get. She looked around the clearing. She had called upon Mr. Safeway, Lady Bona Anna, Otalega Andrews, and Stride Wideman. They probably were not very good gods, but they were the best she'd been able to make. This is a story about stories, or what it really means to be a fairy godmother. But it is also particularly about reflections and mirrors. Oh, we've lost one of our chorus.
No, he's just
Oh,
boy.
pretending to snore. Wake up, Josh. Wake up, wake up, wake
All
up.
across the multiverse, there are tribes who distrust mirrors and images because they say they steal a bit of a person's soul, and there's only so much of a person to go around. And the people who wear more clothes say this is just superstition, despite the fact that other people who spend their lives appearing in images of one sort or another seem to develop a kind of thin quality. It's put down to overwork and overexposure instead. Just superstition, but a superstition does not have to be wrong. A mirror can suck up a piece of a soul. A mirror can contain the reflection of the whole universe, a whole sky full of stars in a piece of silvered glass no thicker than a breath. Know about mirrors and you nearly know everything. Now look into the mirror. Further. To an orange light
There's a zit
on
my
a
nose.
cold mountaintop.
Yeah, that's
What?
not relevant at all.
Thousands
I
of
mean, I was
miles.
looking in the mirror and I saw a zit on my nose.
All right. Thousands of miles from the vegetable warmth of that swamp. Local people call it the Bear Mountain. This is because it was a bear mountain, not because it had a lot of bears on it. Now, this caused a certain amount of profitable confusion. People often strode to the nearest village with heavy-duty crossbows, traps, nets, and they called haughtily for native guides to lead them to the bears.
What bears?
Since everyone locally was making quite a good living out of this, what with a sale of guidebooks, maps of bear caves, ornamental
Fake ones.
cuckoo clocks with bears on them, and bear walking sticks, cakes baked in the shape of a bear. Somehow, no one had time to go and correct the spelling.
It's just, switch the E and the R, no big difference.
It was about as bare as a mountain could be. Most of the trees gave out. About half.
It has furry ears, definitely.
There was a footnote at the end of spelling, but oh well.
Yeah, I read it. It wasn't that funny. Most of the trees gave out about halfway to the top. Only a few pines hanging on to give an effect very similar to the couple of pathetic strands teased across his scalp by a baldy who won't own up. It was a place where witches met. And tonight a fire gleamed.
You guys are funny.
Tonight a fire gleamed on the very crest of the hill. Dark figures moved in the flickering light. The moon coasted across a lacework of clouds. And finally, a tall, pointy-hatted figure said, "You mean everyone brought the potato salad?"
Everyone brought potato salad, so typical. Now they have to use potato salad.
Was the effect good, do you think?
Yes, awesome.
Good. We should keep this up. Crack. I can't
Now, there
actually
was
find my nose, so I'm
one-
just gonna pretend.
There was one Ramtop witch who was not attending this sabbat. Witches like a night out as much as anyone else, but in this case she had a more pressing appointment. And it was not the kind of appointment you can put off easily. Desiderata Hollow was making her will. Now, when Desiderata Hollow was a girl, her grandmother had given her 4 important pieces of advice to guide her young footsteps on the unexpectedly twisting pathways of life. They were, never trust a dog with orange eyebrows.
Alright.
I don't get that one. Should I be getting that? Is that
No.
no?
It's
Is that a
just
thing?
funny.
That's
Yeah,
something to
okay.
do with Donald Trump, but I'm not. Sorry, we don't like Trump.
Hey, zip it, Jer.
That's not
It's
no
anybody.
apology needed. Always get the young man's name and address.
That's good advice.
Never get between 2 mirrors. And
But that's what I do all the time to see the back of my head.
that
Maybe
explains
that's
that.
why you're so thin and superficial.
But no,
Ooh,
one of them's at
burn.
an angle. One of them's at an angle, though. You
Okay.
see the back of your head.
And always wear completely clean underwear every day, because you never know when you're going to be knocked down and killed by a runaway horse. And if people found you had unsatisfactory underwear on, you would die of shame.
Except that you're already dead.
Yes. Well,
But still, you should wear clean underwear. Now go on.
and then Desiderata grew up to become a witch. And one of the minor benefits of being a witch is that you know exactly when you're going to die. So you can wear whatever underwear you like.
Footnote. This one's bound
There
to
is
be
a
funny.
footnote. What are we going to do about this?
Which explains a lot about witches.
Which explains a lot about witches.
Wait, what did it say?
They know exactly when they're gonna die, and so they
Explains
don't
a
have
lot
to wear
about
any clean
witches.
underwear, so it says which explains a lot about witches.
Josh, does bring the death
So
voice
just
yet?
going back doesn't work?
No, it doesn't.
Of
No, it
course,
doesn't.
death is. Death is in all of them.
I know what page, so I can just jump to the page here, but it's still.
Don't do Dad's
a little
voice yet,
slow.
Josh, please.
Death is coming up in the scene. Do you want to?
Wanna
You wanna
do
do
death?